Hi, I'm making a video on law of attraction and an advanced spiritual practice. I'm at and in the title and put G because that's the same key. But anyway, in case you were wondering, it doesn't mean anything else. So anyway, there's my microphone. Okay. So law of attraction is like attracts like. And how you do that, first of all, is your thoughts, to raise your vibration, your chakras, to get them in balance, it starts with your thoughts and how you relate to yourself, not how you treat other people or who you have or don't have in your life. It starts with your own thoughts, your own practice of being a person. If you know how to be a person, what that actually means, not avoiding being a person. If you know how to get to the root of things and all that stuff and figure out what's actually going on with you and all that good, wonderful stuff, you can. You probably already know what law of attraction is then, but like if saying, for an example, that person's bugging me breathing that way, getting to the root of it, or that person is bugging me, saying whatever they feel like saying over there. That doesn't really bug you. There's something underneath all of that you're avoiding, the root of it. That's what such people like myself help people with in my business coaching and consulting, career. Helps people understand how to get to the root of all that stuff. Because honestly, why in the hell, I custom my videos in case you didn't know. Part of me, in my career to, suit other people. So anyway, that's what I do. Why in the hell would someone breathing bug you? It doesn't. I'm not saying there aren't instances where sound and so forth doesn't bug you, because it can. I'm not talking about those kinds of things where it's like autism traits or, that kind of a legitimate thing, because that can. I'm talking about when someone is truly saying something bugs them when it doesn't. Because there is a difference. And I see it on social media and so forth. People don't say the proper thing. They say, of, for example, like if you get on my social media, read what I say, and then you get on yours, but you're not following me with a follow button, then you say that person annoyed me because they said something. Like, a retweet bugged me because that subject that is in the retweet could maybe possibly be related to me, kind of, maybe, sort of, or maybe not, who knows. That does not bug you. The root of it is maybe you have a, a paranoid trait about you, The thing is, maybe you don't agree with me about the retweet if I'm saying I think this or I don't think this, and you're saying, why does that matter? If you say that bugs me that you retweeted that doesn't bug you that I retweet something. You have to get to the root of it. You see what I'm saying? So, or if I prefer to follow someone on Twitter and I get to know them a little bit and then I want to unfollow them because I don't want to follow them. If I follow someone and then unfollow them, that doesn't bug you. I mean, if I unfollow you and then follow you again, that might bug you if you don't understand me or something. If you don't understand the roots of it, if you don't get what is really going on with me doing that, you might, it might, bug you a little bit of, like, or make you wonder what's going on, or, if you have a preference of doing something a certain way, it's not that it bugs you that I'm being a person. It's just that you could say, I disagree with doing that. This is how I do things. Saying that it bugs you that I am a person is not logical. So, those kinds of things are what I help clients with, getting to the actual root of things and much more than that. But anyway, so the law of attraction thing starts with that, your thoughts about how you relate to yourself, first of all, which I have tons of videos on my YouTube channel already, but tons more will be as I can. But, you know, if you don't trust yourself to be around people, this is a very common subject for people, and then they do this martyr thing and say, you shouldn't be around me because I'm mean, or you shouldn't be around me because, and then they put words into your mouth when you just said, let's communicate about the subject, but they're like, no, let's not, because I think you deserve this and that and the other thing. But they're like, no, I'm here for you. I want to communicate about, whatever. And this is an extremely common subject that people do all over the world. It's not just, in one part of it or one person, or, it's tons of people. I say tons just because I'm saying it's, a lot of people, not because I think that it's that actual number, obviously. So anyway, there's a lot of people that do stuff like that, do that little bit of martyr thing, or in an extreme way, and they're deciding for the other person what they should or shouldn't do. Not should like you should be nice or mean to people, or shouldn't. That's not what I mean, because obviously should be nice and shouldn't be mean, but they decide for the other person what they're going to do, or what, that kind of thing. Or, to be this kind of a way or that kind of a way, or, I always make it clear, I don't tell clients that you're not going to be how you are. I accept clients for how they are, all of them in front of me, being however they are. I try to make clients feel accepted to be their whole self in front of me, however that happens to be. Good and bad and everything else, So I say you should or shouldn't be nice or mean, and this is why. There's never a time where you shouldn't be nice, but anyway. If you need to get yourself out of a situation, that isn't that you shouldn't be nice to people, it's that you shouldn't be interacting with someone maybe at the present moment. But anyway, so people do this martyr thing where, like, they say, you shouldn't be around me because of this or that or the other subject, whatever it is. It's not always one thing or related to each other, the different types of reasons people give, but they try to decide for the other person, even if the person's made it clear that they're here and want to be part of your life, or, it is always acceptable to let people in your life. It's not ever a bad thing. I'm not saying spiritually for your own situation that planet in your life at the very moment, but I'm just saying, when it's an actual situation where it's, just being around people, you need people in your life. You need different types of people in your life. People can't survive without people. So that's an example of this law of attraction thing where, like, it starts with your thoughts and how you relate to yourself or your boundaries, and then blaming the other person for what you decided, or, and so forth. If you don't know what an actual boundary is, watch my videos on the topic, because people get all those kinds of things confused and call it stuff that it isn't. So the point is, it starts with how you relate to yourself, not who or who you don't let in your life. It doesn't start with that. It starts with how you think and how much resistance or not you have or don't have in your life to being a person and living. It starts with your thoughts, and it starts with good thoughts if you can. That gets your chakras in balance. That makes you be a certain way, then you attract people in your life. If you're always pessimistic, you're going to attract pessimistic people, maybe, or, that type of thing. But if you work on you, you attract what is like you. So there's nothing more you need to do about it. You don't need to say, oh, you're being mean, I need to cut you off. That's not law of attraction. That's an excuse. That is not unconditional love. That is being mean. That is not knowing how to own yourself. That is saying to the other person, don't be your whole self around me and figure out how to be a person. That is not law of attraction. Law of attraction is not, oh, I need to cut you off, you, to attract what I want in my life. That's not how it works. It starts with your mind. That's it. That's where it starts. What you are in your mind is what you attract. Because what you are in your mind is how you live. It doesn't have to do with other people. Other people are living their own life. You live yours. No one decides things for you. You decide your own life. Like, if you decide that you are spiritually strong enough to stay in an abusive relationship because you want to understand the other person, no matter what kind of abuse it is, and you want to give them unconditional love, that is your choice. It's not the other person's choice that you did that. You cannot blame the other person for you doing that. You blame you if you need to blame someone. But I don't think you need to blame anyone. I think you need to own your decision and say, I decided that. That's what I'm doing. Because for one thing, I've seen good come out of it sometimes. Because for one thing, another thing, being a person is so complex. You can't judge a person in 1 second and say, this is why you're doing that, and that's why you're doing that, and that's all there is to it. That doesn't work that way. How it works is you actually get to know the person, and if they want you to know all of them, then you get to know all of them, not half of them. Because there can be so many different reasons, and that can even overlap with each other, of why someone's doing what they're doing. And you have to get to the root of it, like, if it's from childhood or, whatever. If someone's abusive because they were abused, why in the hell would you be mean to them and cut them off and say you're not worth it to be around? That's mean. Because I come from an abusive family. Do I want love and deserve it? Of course I do. And you deserve love from me too, and, so forth. You have no right to tell someone that they don't deserve love because they're being mean. That's just, you just don't have the right to say that to anyone. You just don't. There's nothing else to it. People, me being a person, you being a person, no matter how abusive or not abusive we are, we're the same thing. We all deserve the same thing. We're a person, That's the exact same thing no matter what each person is doing. And we all belong together. We all need to give each other love because that's the only way being a person works. So you have no right to judge someone else and say, you don't deserve this and that and the other thing because of whatever. So that is not law of attraction, cutting people off. That's an excuse. That's going to get you what you're putting out there. Law of attraction is what you put out into the universe comes back to you. I'm not saying karma. I'm saying law of attraction. Because I don't think you need to be an asshole to say to someone and say you're going to get what you give necessarily. I think law of attraction is getting what you give because you get what you put out there. But I'm not saying it in a karma asshole kind of a way, because that's not what this is about. This is about being proper and saying the proper, actual, true things that happen in life. So, anyway, this isn't about karma. I do karmic videos in astrology, but that's it. So, anyway, it starts with your thoughts, and it starts with how you relate to yourself, and letting the other person own themselves when they're around you. You don't own anything for them, about them, or whatever. You don't say that the other person, being a person, is your boundary of any sort. You don't say the person that was abused in childhood being abusive now is like your boundary, that they're not going to do that to you. They are being themselves, so you need to let them be themselves. That's not a boundary you have. A boundary, I define it as whenever you like or don't like, or say yes or no to something that has to do with your life, not their life. Not that it can't be about another person, but it's about acceptable things that you do interact with each other. It's about, do I want to hug now, yes or no? A hug is an acceptable thing to have. If it's abuse, it's not a boundary, it's abuse. Even if there's a root to it and you can have. You don't say, I have a boundary of not wanting to be abused. No one wants to be abused. So abuse is abuse, no matter what type it is. That is not a boundary. A boundary is when you accept or don't accept something that is acceptable to accept. A hug or a gift or, whatever. Going to exercise together, or, me being friends with or not friends with my clients, or, that type of a thing. Or talking to me. Talking is okay to do. Talking to me when I'm trying to sleep. That can be a boundary. Not when I'm trying to actually sleep. It's not okay to wake someone up when they need sleep. But I mean, like, if I'm in bed and don't mind you talking to me, that can be a boundary, yes or no to that. If I say you are allowed to do that, that is a boundary. If I say you're not allowed, that is a boundary. It's about things that are acceptable to do, not things that aren't acceptable. You don't need to put it on that and say, okay, I want to make this a bigger subject than it needs to be. You don't need to do that. You need to call things what they are. So because of the fact that the advanced spiritual practice is loving someone, that giving unconditional love to someone that is abusive, there are some people on this planet that are spiritually strong enough to do that, or that want to, and that is completely acceptable to do. If you're not at the point where you can do that for any kind of an abusive person, that is allowed, because you are allowed to be whatever way you are at the present moment. At any present moment in your life. So that is the advanced spiritual practice, and it goes along with law of attraction, because it's I see people talking about this subject in the world, and it gets a little bit confused sometimes on how to do it at all, and whatever. Cutting people off doesn't heal you. It just doesn't. It just will not ever heal you. Getting to the root of something in your own mind and heart and feelings and all that stuff, and working with it, healing it, heals it. Not cutting people off. Not having a person in your life doesn't heal you. The choice to heal from something heals you. Working on it, making a practice of getting to know yourself and healing something. There's a way to heal. It is not by not having people in your life, no matter who it is or who it isn't or whatever. That does not heal you. Cutting people off is not going to attract the right people. Your mind does, with the thoughts you have and that you put out there. Like what I'm doing right now. If I say you should cut people off or that you shouldn't, that is my thought, and then I'm putting it out there. That's what I attract. You see what I'm saying? Just the act of having someone in my life or cutting them off will not attract people. Your mind and your thoughts and what you put, the thoughts that you put out there attracts people. And what you do or think or believe or whatever, but it's in your own personal life. It starts there. It doesn't start with you interacting with people. It starts with what you're already doing in your own personal life as one person, and then what you put out there. That is what attracts people. What you need to work on is who you attract. You need mirrors. Both of the two people relating are a mirror for each other. It's not the other one. It's not just the one where they're saying, if you happen to be into spiritual practices and the other person doesn't, the one that is the spiritual person, I hate labels, but anyway, in case you didn't know, that's not the person that has the better life or the better people in their life. Where you're attracting different people, because there's so much that makes up a person, I'm not gonna attract a different person in my life than the person I'm relating to right now. If you're saying that they're mean and I'm nice, which is an asshole thing to do, but I'm not gonna attract nice people in my life, and they're not gonna attract mean people in their life. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't, if I'm doing a spiritual thing, that doesn't attract nicer people in my life. It just doesn't. People are so complex, and it's not just one kind of a thing that you attract. It's so much, so much about a person, each individual, that you're attracting, because there's so much about you, that makes up you. It's not just one little thing. People are so complex. So, how to attract the right people in your life, and I already made another video on this, the false healing method, cutting people off. That's the false healing method. Attracting the people that you want in your life doesn't happen by just cutting people off. It starts with your mind and your thoughts and your feelings, and then what you put out there. That's the way to do that. And raising your chakras, your vibrational energy, whatever. It doesn't start with saying, oh, you're doing that certain thing and you're doing that certain thing, so bye. You're going to keep attracting the people if you don't deal with it in your own life. You can cut off that person and that person. You're going to keep attracting the same person if you don't deal with it in your own life. As long as you don't deal with it, you will forever and ever and ever attract that person. Cutting them off is not going to heal you. And that's why I like not cutting people off. I like to see what's there and what to do about it, and I like being nice to people anyway, and wanting people to be nice to me, and, just interacting with people, Just cutting a person off will never, ever attract people that you want in your life. Never. You have to see what's there and what to do about it, about yourself, not the other person. You don't ever, unless there's some situation where you're interacting and want feedback from each other, that's all right to do. And that's not saving people either. But in general, even if you're doing the feedback thing and the conversation thing and so forth, the other person's not going to heal you. You only can heal yourself. You can be a friend to them while they heal themselves, but you don't have the ability to heal the other person. You only you. So it starts with your mind and your thoughts and your feelings, what you do with them, how you want to live relating to yourself. And then that just automatically puts that out there, automatically. It's just, you don't even have to put effort into it. It just does. So, like, if I say I'm going to, eventually do a dinner theater, and I say I can, I'm going to be able to. If I say, no, I will never be able to, then that's me deciding that I'm resisting that, and I'm believing that I can't, so it won't happen, That's law of attraction. So I'm saying I can, I'm going to, that's all there is to it. So I'm just going to, eventually as I can. So, the false healing method and the advanced spiritual practice, loving an abusive person, they deserve love. Like 1000%. Everyone does. So cutting them off is not spiritual. It's maybe what you possibly have to do for now because you don't know how to deal with it. Because you don't know how to be your own person. But it's not a spiritual practice. There's no such thing as a spiritual practice as cutting someone off and not giving them love. That's not logical. So I say this because just let it click in your brain, If there's a such thing as an advanced spiritual practice and you're supposed to give people love and they're allowed to be loved, they're supposed to be loved, they deserve it. It can't be that cutting people off is the way to heal. That's not logical. You're allowed to give them love. It's good to do, If you're at the stage in your life where you can do that, and understand them, get to the root of things, not, do this all this extra surface level arguing and saying, this is your fault that I'm deciding what I'm deciding and blah, 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 If you can actually understand the person and give them unconditional love, do it. That's an advanced spiritual practice. It's not for everyone at the present moment. Everyone doesn't know how to do that, which is fine. But some people do. So do that. That's the law of attraction. What you put out there comes back to you. Love, Cutting them off is not love. It's not going to get you love. It's not going to heal you. The more people you're around and can love, that's going to attract more love to you somehow, sometime. It just will. So you can't say that happens by cutting people off because that doesn't add up. It's not logical. You see what I'm saying? So this fear of what I have to let go of next, which I'm going to make an actual video about, it's not logical. What you have to let go of might be an addiction because you need to heal, but it's not that you just cut it off. You heal it first, and you don't get rid of yourself. If you have an addiction to something like shopping, you don't stop shopping because you have an addiction. You heal the addiction, and you don't stop shopping. You see what I'm saying? You don't stop being a person because you need to heal something. You don't cut off shopping. That's ridiculous. You heal the root of it. and then you can shop properly. You know, my voice is really scratchy because I've made a couple of videos now. I should have gotten water, but anyway, excuse my voice if you hear it. But people are so ridiculous. It's amusing, but I'm not like trying to be hateful. I'm just, you know, trying to lighten the mood a little bit and show you what I do for my career. You know, this is what I do. This is what I help clients with. Getting the fear out of your life so you can be a person and interact with people, you know. When I was growing up as a child into an adult, you know, a teenager and then into an adult, I was so on Facebook. It started with Facebook because no, it was Twitter and then Facebook. That's what I did. I don't use Facebook anymore. I hate it. I'm on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter. Those three things, basically. Tumblr, but I used to see on Facebook all the time, more than anywhere else, these motivational quotes about cutting people out of your life all the time, and it always pissed me off and irritated me and scared me, and because of my childhood growing up, fear of abandonment, because that's what my parents did to me. So that's what it stems from, you know, that fear. But I'm learning how to deal with it and learning how to help people understand how to be people. Cutting people off doesn't heal you. It hurts you. And it hurts them. Probably. Maybe. Sometimes. I mean, you know, or maybe it doesn't hurt you to cut off everyone because it just doesn't always, but just the act of cutting people off not helpful or nice, you know. It is extremely person off that can heal you. The only way to ever heal you, like I already said, is to actually actively you work on you. You put effort into you working on you, not cutting people off. Because, like I said, the event spiritual practice exists, so it can't be cutting off that helps. So, you know, the Facebook thing, these quotes about, you know, cutting people off, it always scared the crap out of me, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because I want people to get what really actually helps this law of attraction thing and whatever, you know. You don't need to let go of the next thing and then the next thing and then the next thing. That's not how it works. Transforming yourself into a higher person, it doesn't happen by cutting stuff off. If you don't happen to like the taste of alcohol, that's one thing. But if you do, if you think you need to not get drunk all the time and be an alcoholic, you know, if you need to heal that, if you're trying to, not drinking is not going to heal it. If you like alcohol and you can get to the point where you can heal the addiction, then you can still have the drink occasionally or whatever. You don't need to cut it off. That's not going to heal you. You know, or I don't know, some career that I want if I'm in whatever. You know, or like, what's a good example? You know, like, I made another video about this, I think, or two, or I don't know. It's on YouTube, other places too, and in other subjects like psychology and stuff. Transforming something, you know, not cutting it off. If you have a problem with some anger, or you're bossy, you don't cut it off. You transform it, and you keep it about yourself. If you are good at managing people and you're bossy, be a manager of a good career. Don't cut off yourself because you're trying to heal it, because that won't heal it. You see what I'm saying? You transform it into something higher. You don't cut it off. So transform yourself into something better or higher or whatever. You don't disown it and cut it off and say you're healed. It doesn't heal you. So then, if you're healed, then you're going to attract whatever you're putting out there, Not, like I keep repeating, cutting things and people off is not going to ever heal you and attract the right stuff that you want in your life. Because you're missing out on learning about yourself if you just keep cutting people off and don't get to know them and you. That doesn't ever heal anyone. So, but like I already said, one of the main things about this is that I really want it to click that law of attraction isn't cutting people off because of the fact that you are allowed to give an abusive person unconditional love and they deserve it. If you are spiritually strong enough, then do it, because it's healthy and it'll make them feel good and make you feel good. There's never something wrong about that. Love is love. It's not anything bad. It's always good, you know? So let that just click. There's not a special formula of the right amount of how many times you cut someone off that's going to make you attract the right people, because that just doesn't. Let it just really click that abusive people deserve love. I'm not saying they're supposed to be abusive. I'm saying they deserve you to understand them. They deserve love. They deserve to have people in their life that can influence them to be a person and want to get to know themselves. I'm not saying shove it down their throat and try to make them heal if they're not ready to heal something. I'm just saying they deserve the chance of having people in their life if they happen to not at the moment. They deserve to have people in their life and, have a chance of... The only way to be a person is to have people in your life or to heal or to get to know yourself. So they deserve that, That's what I'm trying to say. It starts with having people in your life. You can't get to know yourself if you don't have people in your life. They deserve as much as the next person does. And like I say in my other videos, I keep saying it in all, not every single one, but throughout my videos, every person on this planet is imperfect and mean sometimes. So that is abuse, verbal or emotional or whatever. No person is exempt from being abusive, because what it is being mean at the moment. I'm not saying that there's different levels of it and so forth, because there is. But the thing is, whenever you say you're not an abusive person, that is being a bully to bullies, because you are saying that you're different from them, and you're not. You're the exact same thing. Abusive. It's mean. And out of fear or anger or whatever else, you are mean to a person verbally or emotionally, or neglecting them. That is abuse. That is the same thing as a horrid abusive person that's over there that you don't want to be around because they're being abusive. That is the same thing. So stop saying you're not abusive, because on some level we all are. So don't think, saying special words like I'm not abusive is the law of attraction either, because it isn't. Just really let it click in your mind that advanced spiritual practice of loving an abusive person is love. You're supposed to love people. That's all there is to that. If you can do that advanced spiritual practice, then do it. Because people deserve love, you know? You'll attract love that way. If you are actually trying to love people, you know? It doesn't happen any other way. If you're loving people, you're going to get love. You know? If you're hating people all the time, you're going to get hate. That's how it works, you know? So, like I keep saying, let that click. These two kind of different subjects in the title, you know, let it click that they're related, you know. They're completely related. That's, you know, the key to understanding that law of attraction thing. And the fear of needing to let go of the next thing and the next thing, it's not logical, because you don't need to let go of anything. That scares people, and it hurts, and I can understand why, because no one likes it, and you don't need to do it. It doesn't heal you. So, one of my next videos coming up is going to be about this campaign. I want to start one of the several ones I want to start, but I'll leave that for that video, because it's hard to talk now. I need to get water. So, anyway, excuse my nose. I have allergies or something. I have a big mouth too, but I just wanted to say, I know I'm not trying to be rude, but when I talk a lot, it gets that way. So anyway, yeah. So just let all that click in your mind, that's, you know, the way to figure out that law of attraction thing. You know, it just clicked in my mind. You know, sometimes it's like, wow, like, I can't believe how, you know, much it took that a second to click. All of a sudden, I tried to figure out from, I don't know what age up until, you know, whatever age, you know, and it was all of a sudden like, wow, like, that just really makes me feel so much better actually understanding this subject and being able to share it with people, because of the fact that there is that advanced spiritual practice and that people deserve it, you know. Loving everyone, you know. It's not just for certain people or nice people, you know. It's for everyone. So, next time you're wondering about law of attraction, you know, don't make it more complicated than it needs to be, because people do that too much, and then they get confused and scared and cut people off and all sorts of things, and, you know, blame people for their own problems and whatever else, you know, and do that martyr thing that is in my other videos and whatever, you know. It's really not that complicated. It's so really actually easy to understand. People, you know, they always like to put fear into everything. I want to take the fear out of everything, you know, so we can all be people, you know, not be afraid to be people. If you want to not be afraid to be a person, quit cutting people out of your life. You know, that'll help you with that fear, you know. If you can learn to be around people and own yourself and be confident and, like, you know, just be yourself in front of people, you know, you'll get used to it. And you'll see that love is how to live, not cutting people off. Like, that's what actually attracts stuff, not that false healing method. That just never really ever, you know, attracts what you want. You're just gonna keep attracting the same exact person if you don't just simply notice it about yourself, and then, you know, work on your own thoughts first of all, and your feelings, you know. And then we can all get that we all belong with each other, you know. Even if it's not that we all do belong in the actual same one group, like, physically, like, you know, people belong with people. And the only reason people think we don't is because of the fact that we let our egos get in the way, and fear, and you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's not logical to cut people off to heal. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna end this video here, and then make new ones soon. So yeah, thanks for watching, and you know, like I always say, you know, leave comments or questions if you want to, or whatever, or suggestions on the next videos you want me to make. But like I said, I'll be making those campaign videos really soon.